All right, we did it. We're here. Hello. Welcome to Skipping Through the Universe, a really Watch RPG two-shot from Looking for Mom ttrpg. We are so pumped to be back for our second and final part of our run of this game. We've had a lot of fun in the first half and hopefully more fun in the second half. I want to speak and shout out a couple of things that are happening here on the channel. We've got a lot of things going. You can watch a full Brindlewood Bay actual play that's releasing right now called As It Is Below. Not to toot my own horn, but I am a part of it, so I enjoy that project. There are a couple of other ones. We've got an Alien RPG going, Humblewood 5e, City of Mist, Mothership. We've just wrapped Pirate Borg, as well as a podcast, The Electric State RPG, which is a gritty, post-apocalyptic road trip-based game here for the United States that GM Maia is running. You can find that both here on the YouTube channel and wherever you listen to podcasts. And I believe we've got another podcast starting up soon of the sci-fi variety. So subscribe to get notifications to see what else we're cooking up here while we're out looking for Mom. But tonight, we are back in Sunset Hills. In fact, we are not in the hills at all. We are under the water. We are. A lot happened last session, so much so that I would strongly encourage you go back and watch it. We're there. We're kind of hoping that you would be there. It could be fun if we're all there together at the last episode where you could learn all of the exposition for what we're about to do, and I don't have to re-say it right now. What we will do right now, though, is reintroduce ourselves. So let's get this shift started. Who do we have clocking in today?
I'm Rio, she, her, and I'm playing Valerie, she, her as well. And while there may be extraterrestrials here, it's nothing she hasn't seen before. She's ready to wrap this up and get a report in to Diana, all right?
Gotta get that report into Diana.
Hi, I'm Mel, any pronouns, and I'm playing Samson, he, him. He's a former child star who's tackling real lifeguarding more like an extreme sport than an actual job, and it's going just about as well as you might imagine.
We should all tackle our jobs more like extreme sports, I think.
Hi, I'm Remy, they, them, and I'm playing Eddie, also they, them. At this point, they're running on caffeine, anxiety, and trying to ignore the odd, not quite headache that's been slowly building since interacting with some ooze. That's not concerning.
Not at all. Perfectly normal. I remember the last time I interacted with headache-inducing ooze. And my name is Sydney. I am the referee, Sydney Sid Shock. My pronouns are she, her. Say that 5 times fast. And I am playing all of the other creatures, beings, and humanoids of various pronouns, orientations, and shapes. For tonight, we are closing out Rolie Watch here, and we left in a pretty, kind of like sticky situation. Not to recap all of it, but we last left the 3 of you. I believe Samson and Eddie were holding up an injured diver that they found in this odd silver structure at the bottom of the ocean that has air pockets enough that you don't need your air tanks to breathe after scuba swimming all the way down to it. Trying to help Marco, the diver, hopefully back up to the houseboat or at least the beach. But before you could do so, the 2 of you, Marco and Valerie, who's also in this what looks like to be a control room, all managed to keep your footing with some agility rolls as the entire structure shook. A good big old shake. Alarms have gone off. The thing seems to have ruptured in some way, or something has happened. And you also heard human screams. We saw this image, this scene where 2 other divers, presumably Lori and Vince, were making their way down a hallway into the control room where the 3 of you are, as well as Marco. What the remains of some sort of ooze creature on the floor that looks really similar to the one that is following them, taking up the whole space of the hallway as it creeps ever forward. So let's get right back to the action. The whole place is just shook. You guys kept your footing, Lori and Vince are running in, and they are panicked. Valerie, I think you have the clearest eyesight on this hallway and
I've
them
got the line
getting
of
in
sight.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So question, like the first thing I gotta take in, do they have their oxygen tanks and their breathing masks? Are they set there?
Ooh, great question. Um, Lori definitely has her tank still on, and she seems to not. She doesn't have the headpiece on, when you can see the breathing apparatus sort of dangling where it's been like pinned on to her scuba suit. Vince seems to have no tank, just the breathing apparatus still pinned to the suit, but no tank on the back
Darn.
of him.
All right. So, right off the bat, we're gonna have to at least try to work on getting him up there. But I think Valerie's big plan is to nab that damaged tank that Marco left. And I mean, try chucking it at the big thing, try to slow it down while those two get up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna throw some shit at it.
Throw some shit
See
at it. It took
see
out
what
that
works.
last one apparently a little, so you know,
Yeah. You
betting
pick
on
up
round two.
the broken tank and you're gonna throw it at this ooze creature, sort of iridescent with pulsing yellow fluid on this sort of outer membrane here. You're gonna get let's roll for it. You have a d6
Alright.
to do the thing. I think the chuck something is that's pretty brawny to pick it up, heave it, and throw it down a hallway. So this will be a brawny challenge, which is not your key stat. So you do not get that d6. Though throwing things you could be good at that from the veteran. You want to tell us how your role helps you here?
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of hauling stuff around. You've got to be good at throwing around, buoys, like life preservers and all that as a lifeguard. It's very important. There's been a lot of practice with that, especially because we've got all these rookies due to the short staffing. I've had to do that same task like a dozen times at this point, and that's just like in the past day or so, right?
Yeah. All right, I'll take it. Yeah, so 2d6 then. And I would say to throw this down the hallway where your floor is uneven, the place is still shaking, and you're trying not to hit Lori and Vince.
That is true. I'm not trying to.
It's probably going to be a challenge rating of 6. So you need to hit a 6 on your 2d6 here.
Alrighty. Well, listen, all this crazy stuff's going around, but I'm pretty cool under pressure here, alright?
Yeah?
Can I use my perk here to lower the difficulty by 1?
I would say so.
Yeah.
So go ahead and move your luck down by 1 to use your
Sure.
perk, and that's going to lower that difficulty. So now you're trying to hit a 5.
Alright. Ooh. Alright. Strong opening here. I got a 1 and a 3. So, yeah.
As you pick this up and throw it, I think the good news, Valerie, is that Lori and Vince, I think Lori ducks and Vince just loses his footing naturally. So where you would have hit at least Vince, neither one of them managed to get hit. But this tank does hit the ooze and sort of just like when you like mess with something that's slime, it impacts and you see the reverberation and then just slowly moves through it to the other side. This thing might be too gelatinous for blunt force to work.
Alright, second verse is not same as the first. Damn. I have to think of something else.
I think of something else. And I think we see Valerie's face fall, but at least knowing that you didn't hit the other divers as they skid into the room, this ooze is almost to the edge of the hallway. Let's cut to Samson and Eddie. You've got Marco between the two of you, and you are hearing, if not seeing, Lori and Vince scramble in. Valerie has just chucked something, but it doesn't seem like it did anything. What's your plan?
Either of us, to be clear. Fuck.
Yep, you guys are really close to one another.
Hold him, and Eddie ducks out from under where they've been helping support Marco. And if this thing is mostly liquid of some sort, odds are it's another case of temperature being able to impact things, and we are in a control room. I am going to see if I can somehow find a way to suss my way through. This is alien technology. Shit's weird. I am the weirdo.
You've got
The
some
GS is me.
options. There's of course there's all of the like sparking wires and things that is down here. I will say finding a temperature control might be really
too
tough, but there is a lot of tech, so you might be able to jerry-rig something.
Okay. I had forgotten about the electric wires.
Easy to miss.
I am probably going to regret this. I am going to look for a loose cable that is long enough that there is a section where I might be able to grab the cable without getting too close to the end of it. And as the ooze gets close enough, try and like just sort of drag it into its path.
Okay, so you're looking to
I'm looking
shock
to
or
electrocute
burn
it. Yeah.
it. Okay. I think you can find wire because there's plenty of things sparking. I think the role here is to sort of time it right to get it where you need it to go.
Yeah.
And I would say this is probably an agile role to do it and
Yeah.
not get shocked or get the ooze on you here. So, D6 to do the thing. This is an agile challenge, which is not your key stat, so you do not get that one. Though, how do you think the weirdo might help you here?
Well, with the initial thought, it had been with trying to decipher alien tech and everything being so strange, it might help. With the reminder of the electric cables, I'm actually wondering if that weird headache I've been developing might help me get a sense of timing.
So it sounds like
But
you're
no, that's a perk. That's a
with
perk,
your
not a roll. That's a perk, not gonna roll.
Yeah.
Weirdo. I'm not sure weirdo would help me, honestly.
Okay. Well,
So I get one die.
one die to move this. You're not, you don't have divers that you're trying not to get in the way as they clamber in. So I'd say this is a challenge rating of 5.
Okay.
But you did mention your perk.
Yes, I would like to use my perk.
Okay. So before we go any further, we've had some mentions of new perks that weren't in the first episode. In Roleplaying Watch, every session you can take experience points, and you can use those experience points to sort of level up your character. In this case, we thought it'd be fun to all take a secondary perk as a reflection of thoughts, vibes, skills that may have come into play during the first half of our 2-shot. So, Eddie's perk. It's a psychic premonition, is it not?
Yes, I believe what we decided was that despite putting on gloves when treating Margot next to the ooze from the other destroyed alien, that some might have gotten some skin contact anyway and had some interesting effects.
Gotcha. Well, I would say we could use your perk here. So let's move your luck down by 1 since you're using your perk.
Already did.
And then what premonition do you get that helps make this a little bit easier?
I'd say getting a feeling that the ooze is about to, I'm assuming, about to lunge for someone, getting an idea of which way it's likely to lunge, and therefore picking a wire closer to that general vicinity so I don't have to move it as much to get it in the way.
Yeah, I think that premonition takes place as just out of the edge of your vision, you start to see as if you are the ooze. Those of you who have a visual on Eddie, for just a moment, one of their eyes sort of glazes over the same pulsing yellow that is in the outer membrane, and Eddie, you see where it's going as if you are it, and you know where to put this wire, where to grab it from, and where to go. And then it quickly fades. For you, I think maybe you experience it more as a thought than that first person, though that distinction is very small. Let's roll. So that's going to take your complexity down to a 4. You're rolling 1d6.
Yes.
You got to hit a 4, 5, or 6.
In theory, it's a 50-50 shot. It being me,
That's what they tell us.
That is a 4.
4 on the die. That's great. If you had rolled a 1, it would have been a critical failure because it would have been all of your dice.
Yep.
But you rolled a 4, so you're barely going to manage it, but you do. Who is this ooze lunging for, and how do you manage to get this wire in the way?
I assume it was running towards Valerie because she had just tried to attack it and was sort of standing in defense of the 2 divers that just ran past. So, honestly, it probably looks like Eddie's stumbling a bit because they're actively trying to avoid any big puddles of water on the floor while doing this.
Makes sense.
And then towards the end, accidentally does hit one a little bit and skids and slides a little bit in front of Eddie with the cable and kind of jerks it around and just barely misses a spark hitting the puddle that they're kind of standing in and goes to the ooze instead.
Yeah, and as the ooze connects the 2 of you, and then Samson, if you're watching, still holding up Marco on the other side, see the what had been this pulsing yellow membrane just sort of frizzles out for a moment and loses its rhythmic go. That is 1 success token taken care of. There are a few more to go. So you shock it. You manage not to shock yourself. It momentarily slows down, but then it is still heading now the both of your ways. But we're going to cut our camera over to Samson. Samson, you've got Marco the diver on one arm here, near the portal that would take you back out to the ocean. Eddie has leapt into action here with live wires. Valerie has thrown broken air tanks down the hallway. It only makes sense that now it's your turn. What are you trying to do?
Honestly, I've gotten he's watching this happen, and especially when Eddie started thinking about plans and what its weaknesses would be. He's sort of almost watching with rapt attention, watching all of these calculations going on. He's so inspired. So you both just do things that I was and then basically, but then he sort of looks at this injured man in his arms, and he's honestly, number 1 plan is haul ass. Basically get this guy out of. I can't take a fight as things are right now. While I could try, he'd totally be willing to try, but he doesn't want to put this guy in danger, and it's been trusted. We've let this guy, we've trusted him with Samson. He's gotta protect him, and so at the very least get him to that end of the portal, and that way he sort of maybe, or right to the end, and then at least maybe drop him off there so he's out of the action thing. Because honestly, that was his plan. That was the last plan that he was told is happening. And at the moment, getting this guy to safety, he's not going to start making. Samson, he's not a plan maker. He's a plan follower. And so that's what he's been told to do. So that's what he's going to do.
Sounds like
ass.
So are you leaving with him, or are you just setting him near the portal back to the ocean?
Setting him near the portal. I want to basically get there really quick.
Okay.
While carrying this guy. And then get back basically to help out.
So yeah, you're able to sort of maneuver him over and set him down. What do you say to Marco as you set him down next to the thin veil between alien ship and bottom of the ocean?
Okay. He sort of like sets him down as gently as possible while also being as quickly as possible. So it sort of evens out by being not gentle but not harsh. And basically he's like, dude, I'll be back. But this, I think I gotta help, because he just sort of like looks at Marco, looks back at this like creature, looks at Marco, and you know,
Okay.
okay, cool. We got this. It'll be great. Gone.
Great. Yeah, you dart back into action. I think at this point you just see the small electrocution that Eddie has pulled off. What are you gonna do?
Would it be so stupid to try and punch? I went into this the first sign of danger and said I want to punch whatever did this. I think wait until the electric cables aren't actively touching it. Because Samson's, he's not the smartest pickle in the jar, but he's not like a dumbass. He's just sort of average. He's got his strengths, okay, but he's not a buffoon, so he knows that electric water bad. So he's wait until like sort of the cable flicks back around and isn't touching it, and just sees Eddie like like I said, not only inspired by the like planning and the thinking, but inspired by this like action taking, and literally just like bomb, gonna bop it right in the middle.
Okay. The best part about you describing that was watching Remy and Rio have vastly different responses to this plan.
I'm glad.
I calmed down once you specified waiting for the electricity to go away.
That's an excellent extra step, all right?
Samson winding up, waiting for the sparks to die before you Popeye sock this guy, this gelatinous ooze. As we know from the air tank, it seems like blunt force with the air tank at least wasn't very successful, but I don't know if Samson could have seen that happen.
No. And I mean, like, this isn't just blunt force. This is a punch.
This is blunt force with a hand.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it's one of Samson's punches.
Okay. All right. Well, let's roll for it.
Okay. Cool.
This a d6 for doing the thing. Punching, that's about as brawny as you can get. So a d6 for the key stat.
Yay.
This is very rookie behavior. So a d6 because it matches your
punch
roll.
Him, yeah.
You need a 6.
Okay. Cool. Can I argue that the extreme sports perk I picked up after last session, you know, this is a very extreme situation. This is dangerous. This is terrifying. You know, like it's that adrenaline pumping situation. Can that help, please?
Here's the offer that I give you.
Okay.
Because those of us at home know blunt force might not be the best choice. But you're using extreme sports. I think that it can help you, but I think punching this ooze that is clearly a bad idea, even if you succeed, you're gonna lose a grit.
Worth it.
Okay.
Easily worth it.
Consequence for interacting with the ooze. So 3d6, you need to hit a 5. You will automatically lose 1 grit on success, though if you fail, it could be more. Let's see.
Okay. Please. That is a 2, a 3, and a 6.
I thought you meant they were all 2s, and I was like, get ready to get fucked up, Samson.
No, I just wanted to...
So move your luck down by 1 since you used extreme sports, and then move your grit down by 1 because you're punching the ooze. Because you touched it.
Because I touched it.
You sock this thing fist right into the middle. And how strong is this punch, would you say?
Oh, it is like it's almost like he's put his not only his whole body weight into it, but like like this like thing like this whatever vessel we're in is sort of shaking as well. So he probably like timed it so as it sort of jolted that way a bit, he's leaning with it. It's
Yeah.
it's a cinematic, it's a beautiful punch actually.
It's a beautiful cinematic punch. You get it right in the middle, and because of the way that things are moving and the way this ooze is moving as it exits the hallway, it makes it into the control center with the wire sparking and Eddie and Valerie right next to you. You punch so hard that you punch through the ooze.
Beautiful.
So your arm is covered in that outer membrane yellow ick. You pull it back, and you all see the ooze shudder. We had a success, so that's 2 success. That's another success token. You guys are at 2 total. And then where the punch was start to split vertically and cleave itself apart. You all now have 2 smaller oozes.
This could work.
Congrats.
All right, divide and
Well
conquer, right?
Literally.
Samson.
I don't know, I flunked math class.
Samson, your arm is tingling.
He's gonna like shake it off.
You shake it off right next to Eddie and Valerie.
Oh no, maybe not then. Just sort of, like, when you've got like sort of an icky feeling and you just sort of, he's like holding it up. It's like he's not putting it back down by his side. He's like, okay.
Yeah. I would say not only is it tingling, you're starting to feel that more. Like that feeling will continue to grow and spread. But for now, our camera leaves you as we catch Valerie, and you're seeing you see this punch happen and the thing cleaved in half. Now there are 2 of them, though they're slightly more manageable. They don't take up a 6 by 6 foot square experience. It's now maybe 3 by 6. They're sort of humanoid in that way. Not humanoid in shape, but in diameter.
They're a proper medium creature now instead of large. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
1 large, 2 medium. It's the classic division. All right, we got to go through the small
That's how it
version,
works.
then tiny, then should be gone.
So Valerie, seeing these 2, and seeing your teammates leap into action to support you, what does our veteran do?
Well, you got to admire the handiwork here, honestly. All right. Clearly, what happened was simply, it was a busted up tank tossed in haste. But Samson, absolute beast of a punch there. A genius move. Now the question is how to approach it from here. And honestly, how many more wires we got swinging around here, really?
Couple
that
more
seemed like
wires.
a good opening. Well, it seemed like a good opening last time.
For sure. There's a couple more wires. There's some like odd monitors and screens and things that might be warm to the touch, and panels and walls, though you can't read any of the language. This is a control room, so there's lots of things here.
This has all the hallmarks of a classic alien control panel. All right.
Exactly.
Here's another important question. Does either of these still have the broken scuba mask in them, or did it like fully get moved out?
The broken scuba mask.
Not mask. Oxygen tank.
Oh, the tank.
Scuba tank.
Oh yeah. It once it got slowed, it sort of rolled out the back, and rolled down the hallway. You can go get it.
Not the most immediate thing. I'm going in for a follow-up with the electrical wire.
Okay, yeah. You find some more cables.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, there are plenty around. How do you set this up?
Kind of a 1-2 approach here, punch the electrical cable in, try to combine the efforts here, right? Build off of what my team has shown me. I like their initiative. I like their improvisation. I want to see if we can pull this off at like double effectiveness.
Are you doing this to both oozes?
No, I wouldn't imagine it'd be both oozes. I feel like they've
One of
separated
them.
too far, but we're going for
Okay.
just one right now.
Okay, cool. There's the one that's closer to you guys and one that is starting to move towards the Lori, Vince, Marco puddle
That one.
near the portal. So you're heading to the
Can't let
farther
them get in
one.
trouble, all right? I have
Okay.
faith in my team, but I've got to protect the civilians.
So you're gonna punch an ooze with a live wire. Incredible. A d6 to do the thing. This is a brawny challenge, punching, as we've established, which is not your key stat. Though stepping in to, I think, save civilians is a very veteran thing to do.
Fair.
I would argue. As we've also established, with punching into the ooze, interacting with the ooze is probably going to cause a loss of grit, even on a success. Though you're doing it at double effectiveness, so you could have a potential for more success, though you are going to lose a grit if you're punching in.
Let's go, all right?
Let's go. Okay.
No risk, no reward.
2d6. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, she's a total knockout. She's been throwing punches since, I mean, before she was a lifeguard, to be fair, all right? But now she's got some real use for it outside the ring.
Some Valerie lore coming in. Absolutely. So you're going to use your total knockout perk?
Yeah.
Awesome. That is going to lower this from a 6 to a 5. So 2d6, you need to hit a 5. Please move your luck down by 1, because you're using your perk. And then move your grit down by 1, because you know you're punching this thing. And it's going to have an adverse effect.
Yeah.
And let's roll.
Let's go. 6 and 2, but that doesn't matter as much. Not nearly as important.
Yeah. Valerie, how do you explode this ooze?
All right. Well, I think the hanging down electrical wires has already been established. Absolutely terrible. I basically honestly follow their excellent example. Dash over, grab it, and go in for a combination sort of with like Samson's wind up. I'm using my own force of rushing across. I'm sliding through the puddles, using it to improve my momentum as I slam it home before it can get to the people. All right.
Oh my god. Yeah. You slide in, punching straight through the back, though. What is the front or the back of this ooze? Through the back of it, and in front of Vince and Lori and Marco, excuse me. Vince, Lori, and Marco's eyes. We see the pulsing frizz again from the electricity, and the whole ooze just sort of shake and then fall into a puddle on the ground. This one in front of them, you've punched so hard that it has ceased to be operable between your electric charge, though your arm is covered in this yellow viscous liquid, and it's starting to feel tingly.
All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good job. Well done. I want to see how the other two can, pull it off. All right. They've gone through 1. Let's see round 2. All right. I guess whatever. Numbers aren't important.
You got it. One last ooze as the alarms continue to blare, lights blink, and things are getting real shocking around here. Eddie and Samson, you've got a medium-sized ooze, as we've discussed, iridescent with this yellow pulsing. Samson, you're starting to feel the little, the beat, as it were, with your arm in particular, covered in this yellow liquid as well. But you guys have a job to do. The alarms are getting louder and louder.
Okay, something tells me you all really need to get that stuff off of you as soon as possible. Just a thought. Right. Similar to earlier, when, and also I know my voice for Eddie keeps changing. I don't know what's happening either, but neither do they. So you know it's in character, really. Similar to earlier, last session at the Rookie Hut, where they had to stop and like take a moment and reassess and think. We're going to stop and look more critically at this ooze attacking. It's a little less intimidating now, to be fair. And try and figure out where a possible weak point of some sort might be. If there's anything indicating something that might be used as a way of like moving forward or taking things in, if there's any hint of a weak point, or if it really is just all
This
one.
is pretty amorphous. It seems to have like an outer membrane and that has that yellow liquid pulsing around, and then this inner iridescent membrane. But you know, it looks the same from every angle, and there's no defining features. There's no appendages. There's no face. There's no semblance of organ mass. Just ooze.
The word I'm latching onto there is membrane.
Yeah.
And membrane can be pierced. Dive suits have dive knives, right? In case people get stuck and trapped in things, that's a thing.
Hold, please. Let's Google.
As someone who has never even contemplated doing this, because the ocean is genuinely a terrifying, if fascinating, place.
No, dive suits do not have dive knives,
Damn.
but divers can attach them to their equipment. I don't think any of the ones that Peter bought on a 6-pack off of Amazon
No.
have dive knives already
Okay.
attached.
I would like to look around and see if I can find like anything, since this thing was clearly in a wreck, anything that looks like shrapnel, sharp, jagged. Like these cables had to come apart and get cut on something.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like open shrapnel around, but there are some pieces of metal. There's something that looks like it could have been a lever at some point, or bar, like casing on something that is loose, that probably with a bit of help could come loose a bit more.
Samson, borrowing you again. Reach over, grab, pull. I imagine the pull isn't very effective at all.
No, I'll
Hopefully
go with you.
Anyway.
Totally. A
Help me get
slight
this off
tug
the
and I'm
wall.
immediately. I'm pulling this off the wall. Sort of.
Preferably.
Yeah, totally. I can do that.
All right, brownie roll.
What do you need?
To pull this piece of metal. It looks like it once was some sort of like lever, though it is a bit disconnected, and you're just grabbing that off of the wall here. A d6 to do the thing. This is a brawny roll, which is your key stat, so another d6. I don't know if necessarily Rookie helps you just to rip metal off the wall.
Nah.
So we'll keep 2d6, and you need to roll a 5.
Okay.
This is alien metal.
I've managed to make Rookie works for me in so many situations. I'm happy to not use it just this once.
Sounds good.
Yeah, okay. What did you say, a 5?
Yes.
Please. A 5 and a 3.
All right. You manage to take this piece of alien metal tech off. And as you finally grip it and rip it off of the wall there, another shutter goes through the whole structure. And you guys start to hear a whirring noise of some sort. But you have the piece of metal free.
Okay, what am I doing with this, Eddie?
Oh, I don't like that. Stab it.
Stab it? I can stab it, yeah.
Like, punching was great. Glad that worked for you guys. Maybe it leaks. And
You're
doesn't
gonna stab
want-
it?
Stab it? Yeah, totally.
If you can try and avoid getting more, I think that would be a very good thing.
I trust Eddie wholeheartedly. Nothing they have ever told me has ever, like, been incorrect, so I trust this. Immediately.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Eddie-
stab it.
You do, this won't be a roll because as you go to put it in, the ooze starts to try to pull it away from you. In the same way that the tank sort of hit it and slowed down, your stab slows down, and it comes out on the metal to try to pull it out of your hands.
What I was gonna say, my general plan was to sort of thrust it in and then like almost like hammer and chisel like with my other hand and just like bop it in. But if
You can
that's
get
not
it
what...
in, but it's gonna hold on to it, and I think it's gonna try to pull you into it.
Ooh,
Um,
that's not fun.
So unless you let go, it'll be a brawny roll to resist.
What I want is to just get this like deep, just like get it through this and just... honestly, like I said, I trust Eddie.
Eddie, who
I'm
did
following the
just tell you not
instructions.
to get more on you?
True, that is true, that is true. Okay, I think if I've stabbed the thing and the sharp thing is in the thing, weird gooey thing, then I have done my job and I'm happy with that I followed instructions. And he's gonna like like you said, as it sort of grips onto it, he's gonna be like, oh.
Yep, and it pulls it in, and now that bar is just on the inside of it.
That'd be good. Oh, but if it's got metal on the inside of it, maybe it'll conduct the electricity better.
That's what I was starting to think through as well. Okay, that didn't do what I wanted it to. Good job. Very good job.
Thank you.
I was wrong, but this might help us.
I think I want to do like a sort of, while I was by the wall, like sort of go back and just sort of scrape my arm on it, like not get it all off, but get a good chunk of it off and just sort of...
Yeah, as you try to like peel some back, it just, you leave some on the wall, but the liquid on your arm just sort of starts climbing over and reconnecting itself.
Ooh, creepy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right, there's a piece of metal shrapnel. The whole vessel is starting to whir, and the alarms are still going off, and we've got still an ooze to deal with. What's the plan?
Grab another wire?
Grab the last wire here from the ceiling, yank it down. All right, Eddie.
Well, it worked last time and now there's metal inside it, so... God.
All right. Agility to not get yourself.
Yes.
A d6 to do the thing. A d6 if it matches your key stat, which this does not. Does the weirdo help you here?
I would argue that possibly my understanding of just like the strange, occult, otherworldly things is maybe helping me with taking in all of our different sorts of attacks and their effect or lack thereof on this creature, to have maybe given me a better idea why this might still be the best source of attack and going through towards the metal bar.
So the weirdo is helping you with the scientific theory.
Yes.
The cause and effect of this. Because you're a grad
It's
student and you've had to learn
literally
this.
what they're going to school for, is to try and get the
Um,
scientific theory behind all of the very weird, even if it doesn't
things that defy
necessarily ascribe to
science.
the laws of science. Yes.
Okay, so 2d6.
Thank you.
Are you using any perks or quirks here?
Definitely not quirks. I'm gonna save my
No?
luck in case I need it.
Okay,
And thank you for phrasing what I was trying to say way better than I was, Sid.
I got you.
My words
2d6.
hard.
Because you have done this before, I'm going to lower the difficulty from a 6 to a 5. Because it's not a new action for you. You're trying to hit a 5.
I am going to use luck. I got a 3 and a 4, dude.
Okay. What's helping you here?
I would say that I get another premonition. premonition.
Mm-hmm.
Words again, so hard. And realize that because it's not a new attack for me, it's not a new attack for the ooze either. So when it saw me come forward, it was trying to shift more out of the way, and I was able to therefore course correct and still meet it.
Yeah, love that. Okay, then you succeed. And as the shock reverberates, we see that the yellow viscous liquid sort of frizzles where it had been pulsing very rhythmically. Both Valerie and Samson, your arms tingle a lot more when that happens. Almost as if, static electricity were there, though it's not harmful to you. It just is, what an odd sensation, like pins and needles in your arm. And the last ooze sort of dissipates and falls to the ground, no longer holding up physical space and becoming basically 2D here on the floor. Congratulations, you guys beat all of the alien oozes. There is the manner of the structure you're being in whirring and starting to jostle and move. Screens are flashing unknown symbols. And I think maybe Eddie, you're probably the best one to go ahead and give me a crafty roll to understand what they might be. So a d6 to do the thing, a d6 because it matches your key stat. Weirdo definitely applies here. So 3d6, you need to hit a 5.
Especially because I am out of luck now, so. That is a 2 and 2 6s.
All right. On your 2 6s, you're able to sort of figure out what these flashing symbols could mean. As the red lights start to fade and turn to green, you get the really clear feeling this ship is about to try to take off. And all of you are inside of it.
We need to go.
The doors are all starting to close. You guys you need to get yourselves out, and hopefully Lori, Vincent, Marco, who are there near the portal back into the ocean, you each have a chance. I'm gonna round the horn. Eddie, you see it first and you say we need to go. What are you doing?
Okay. I do a quick check and realize one of them still doesn't have a tank. And one of us doesn't have a tank.
Nah, it's fine. It's all a part of the plan.
Eddie is going to give a quick shout of, if you don't have a tank, buddy up. Share masks as we go up. Everybody get out now. And is going to dart forward towards the guys we're supposed to be saving and work on getting them together and shoving them out the portal. I don't think we have time to disconnect one of our tanks to give to our untanked diving friend.
I don't think you have time to get more than one of these people. So
yeah,
let's grab one of them.
I am not an experienced enough diver, nor physically capable enough to feel comfortable with being the one trying to share a mask. I'm going to go to Marco because he's the one that I know, and he knows me, and I'm going to do my best to drag him with me out the portal.
Okay. So to drag a diver and avoid injury as you're heading out, gonna be brawny.
Yep.
A d6 to do the thing. It does not match your key stat. Your roll does not help here.
Nope.
It is a brawny 6 according to the book.
Great.
To carry someone out. So team, be thinking on standby. Well, let's get this rolling first.
All right.
All right, Eddie.
Okay.
Is that a 6?
That's a 6.
I really thought that's where you're gonna say one.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a critical failure.
Is it a 5 and a 1, or is it a 6?
No, I had 1 die. If it had been a 1, it would have been a crit fail automatically because it was my only die.
But yeah.
How do you
That-
barely manage to yank Marco out through and start swimming?
I'd say from where Samson had propped him up by the portal already, it was already sort of primed to be able to get him out quickly, combined with all of the water on the floor and the shock of everything preventing him from resisting me. I just used my own momentum and basically tackled the guy.
Yeah,
out
you
through it.
tackle him right through that sort of weird portal. You go through the veil. You are suddenly deep in the seaweed outside this ship, and you can see it shudder and move as some sort of apparatus on the outside is spinning faster and faster, but you and Marco are able to start swimming up. And, our camera's going to cut from Eddie to Samson. Samson, Eddie has basically said, run for it, and then bolted, taking Marco with them out through the portal. What are you doing?
Said the doors were shutting. Is that like the way? Just to check, that's the way out. Those doors are shutting.
The portal itself is still open, but the doors of the ship to all of the hallways are slamming shut.
So the way out isn't shutting, basically.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Not yet.
I was gonna try and don't even joke like that. I'm kidding. I was gonna say I wasn't. Yeah, I was gonna say if the way open out is closing, then I was gonna sort of hold it open. But if not, I reckon. Okay, so we've got 2 people, one without a mask, one with, and we've got Valerie also without a mask. But Valerie's a confident swimmer. I reckon if she shares with the person that does have a mask, can sort of haul up, and so I should go for the civilian without the mask. I feel Eddie's quick thinking is rubbing off on Samson. It's really working very well for him.
The rookie is learning.
And like Valerie's like quick decision making, like it really is his place as the rookie, is him learning from his colleagues. I was gonna say like friends or companions, friends. His entire position is to learn on the job, and that's exactly what he's doing. So he's gonna sort of that quick thinking, and then the like making calls. And he's gonna go, okay, you without a mask, buddy up system, let's go.
Yeah, it'd be, I think we established Vince. Vince or Lori. One of them.
I think it was Vince, yeah.
Because I'm guessing if they've lost their mask at some point, are either of them like injured or like tied? I'm guessing they're like...
They're exhausted, but they're not
yeah,
injured.
So, okay, so I want to like help them up, basically. Like,
yeah.
Sort of, like... just literally tuck under. It won't be as difficult as like with the injured guy, I'm guessing, because that guy was injured, but like still I want to like scoot him along, like, it's almost like, ask forgiveness later, permission right now, like we got to get out of here.
Yeah, you yank out Vince through there. It's gonna be a brawny roll to be able to do it in time because you're pulling someone along with you. So D6 to do the thing. A D6 because it matches your key stat. If you reckon how the rookie helps you here,
I think it's like I was saying, it's him learning from his his teammates, that this is the epitome of what being a rookie is all about, is learning. And I think this is his, instead of him doing the normal rookie move, which is just going and doing something absolutely incorrect, he's actually going, you know what, I'm gonna do my job and learn.
We love that. Learning on the job. Okay, so 3, 6. And it is a brawny 6, so you need to hit a 6 to pull this guy through.
Please. Okay. That's a 3, 4, and a 5. Do we reckon I can use my extreme sports for this?
Yeah. How do you think it helps?
So, like I said before, stressful situations, but it's specifically like, because in the guide it sort of describes it as like that sort of like skydiving, skateboarding, like
Adrenaline.
things. Yeah, these are like sports that like you need to be able to make snap decisions. It's less about thinking and planning and going, do I do this or this? It's literally just being able to go now, think about it later. And I think this is one of those situations where he just needs to go now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
cool.
you dart forward, you grab Vince, and it takes just an extra heft. Like you almost get it the first time, and then you full send maybe backwards through that portal with Vince in tow and make it out in time.
Yay.
And as you exit with Vince, seeing Eddie and Marco up ahead, you can tell this thing is about to go. And our camera cuts to Valerie. Valerie, one diver left. Your team has sprung into action. What are you doing?
All right. How's our last one standing here doing?
Lori?
I believe it's Lori. Yeah. How's she doing right now? How's she looking?
Out of the three, she's probably the most spry.
Excellent. All right. That's good. We got to move fast.
Okay,
I'm expecting her to be cooperative. Like, how much of a fight is she putting up here? Like, is she?
get us out of here.
All right. It's gonna be a power walk over to her, take her by the shoulder with the arm that is not covered in goo, of course, and just sort of gesture down to the portal. Come on, then let's go. All right. Dive
Okay.
on down, mask up. Come on.
And
Nice
as you
simple
sort of
talk through.
convince her to go through. So are you pulling her through, or are you convincing her to go through?
I'm walking her through this. I'm trying to. I want to use my cool perk here. All right.
Okay.
I want to spend a luck. I'm cool. I'm calm under pressure. This is. I'm talking her through this because I am projecting an aura of calm, confidence. Like this is absolutely safe, very standard, while also still rushing her through the actual process. But
Okay.
trying to manage this. You know, subtle force.
Gotcha. So it sounds like as you're talking her through, I still think this would be a brawny roll and not crafty, because it is the intensity of the situation.
Mhm.
And if she doesn't, you'll probably make her to get her to go through. So
It
we're
will
gonna keep
not
it as
be.
a
I was
huh?
gonna say it's not gonna be cool at that point. It may be total knockout time.
Yeah, one way or the other, you're getting Lori through this portal. So a d6 to do the thing. It does not match your key stat. Does match veteran for sure. I would say. Um, yeah, I mean, you're using, people know that they can count on you using that authoritative voice. Valerie Van Buren is here to save the day. So 2d6. And initially you were going to need to hit a 6, but it says you're using cool. You need to hit a 5. So drop that luck all the way down to 0.
Let's go.
You need to hit a 5 with your 2d6.
5.
What does it look like?
Really basically as I've described, it's a power walk across the room. Just sort of take her by the shoulder, just gesture her through it with the other hand, mask up, breathe deep, 2 deep breaths, forward dive in. I follow her in through the portal. Also having taken, a couple deep breaths too, because I'm about to have to hold my breath up through this entire little dive here and just sort of try to walk her through because she's civilian, she's panicking. It may take some time for her to away from this before I can get a final breath in on her mask.
For sure. And I think we've established Vince didn't have a tank, but Lori did.
Yes.
So you both have tanks. You don't have to share.
Oh, I don't have I gave my tank to Marco last time.
Never
'cause
mind.
his was
You do have
damaged.
to share. Okay. Well, then as all of you get out of this thing, we have one final roll to close out this scene before we hopefully get you all back up to either the beach or the houseboat, Peter Callahan's houseboat. You need to swim pretty quickly. This structure is about to be on the move, and several of you don't have, actually none of you have the appropriate tank situation to make this go. So we're gonna do a round of agility challenges here. A failure on this roll will be a loss of grit. Because you need to get up to the top, you're going to get really lightheaded. You're going to have some of those effects. So, a d6 to do the thing. A d6 if your key stat is agility, which would be Valerie. And then if you believe your roll helps you here, you can add a second or third d6. We're going to go around the horn, starting with in the same order we came out. So Eddie, we're going to start with you. How many dice are you rolling?
I think just the one. Sadly, I don't think the weirdo is going to help too much here. I can see how the grad student thing might, but I am out of luck.
You are out of luck.
One die.
All right, and agility, because you have trained and there's a bunch of adrenaline going through. This will be, instead of a 6, it's going to be a 5 to sort of outswim this. You need to have 5 or 6 on your die.
Fantastic. That is a 5. I am rolling better in the last 5 minutes than I did the entirety of yesterday.
All right, you barely make it. Let's take you guys back to Peter Callahan's houseboat here.
Yeah, that's where our boat is too.
Exactly. You bring Marco up, both of you gasping for air as you get to the top, but you make it in time.
And the two of us both have tanks. So
there you go. Not gasping for air.
The injured guys. The injured
Let's cut back down. We see Eddie's head, Eddie and Marco's heads pop up, and then our camera immediately goes back down, and we find Samson and Vince. How many dice are you rolling, Samson?
So 1 for doing the thing. I reckon I can argue the rookie here, and because a lot of these sorts of very like, you need a lot of energy for these sorts of, like, it's doing thing after thing after thing after thing, and it's that sort of that youth and drive and vigor and whatnot. I think I've explained it. This is what I've been using this whole time. I reckon he's, and especially he wants to prove himself, especially after, you know, he's felt like he's taken after him and learning after him, and he really wants to do a good job. Okay, it's the first time he's felt like he's been really like trusted and like not just like helping out, but like really a part of the team, and that matters.
Okay.
So
2d6. You need to hit a 5.
Okay. That is a 4 and a 6.
All right. You also succeed, tugging Vince up as well, and right next to Eddie and Marco's heads as they come up, we see Samson and Vince, and our camera cuts once more. Valerie, you've got Lori in tow after talking her through the portal. How many dice are you rolling?
I mean, I'm agile roll here for a fast swim. 1, just because, you know, we all got at least a shot at something. And the veteran here, this is a person not quite drowning, but definitely needing to be walked through a swim here, especially through a dangerous swim such as this one.
Absolutely. 3d6.
Sorry.
You're good.
Yep, 3d6.
3d6, you need to hit a 5.
So, 4 is the highest rolled.
Eddie and Samson, Valerie and Lori have not popped up yet.
So if I'm correct, we can use like a luck to use one of our perks to help someone else's roll. And I think, you know, deep sea diving is definitely an extreme sport, very stressful swimming, and I think since he's popped up, he'll like sort of, it's by the houseboat, right? So we can sort of
and there's a bunch of glow sticks in the water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like give whichever person Samson, honestly he didn't even look to see who was grabbing. It was just he just grabbed someone, you know, hook him onto the side of the boat and immediately go back down. And I think especially because Valerie's not got the
tank
the breathing thing, going back down there with Samson having one too, it sort of spreads, I think, this like spreads the balance of, you know, how much we're sharing. So I think he's gonna immediately use that sort of extreme swap rather than like a normal swap would just be, you know, sort of waiting a bit, resting, and then going back down. But extreme now, he's going immediately back down.
Absolutely. Valerie, you get the feeling, the tightness, the constriction of, oh, I don't know if I'm going to get all the way back up. And from that, you will lose 1 grit.
All right.
And then you see Samson, full steam ahead.
He is waving while like he's like swim.
You know, proper technique.
Yeah, totally.
It's a bit short on proper breathing while getting in. I'm feeling tightness. I'm having to push myself and making sure that Lori keeps up. Hasn't had time for the mask, but then I can feel it approach. The light, the genius. Well, okay. the absolute shining beacon of positivity here. All right, Samson, endless optimism and an absolute godsend in this moment. Here he is. Thank you much.
And after a bit, Samson, Lori, and Valerie break the top of this ocean water. And as the 3 of you do, from deeper in the ocean still, past the angle where you guys had been, a silver disc breaks the water as well, and a large whirring sound like 100 helicopters as the structure shoots out into the sky, almost faster than you can comprehend. And the waves break heavily against the boat. Those of you who are on the boat rock, and then it starts to slow and fade as something returns back the direction it maybe came.
What was that? what was that?
That was what we were just on, Samson. Whew. That's the thing. Yeah. All right. Don't worry about it. All right. It's it's gone now. We'll worry about it in the report. Let's get onto the boat.
As you guys get onto the boat, Valerie and Samson, the radio is playing, and it's playing some music, and across your arms, this yellow liquid pulses in the beat. It's still tingly like static electricity, and it pulses to the beat of this song, and as the song fades, the yellow liquid does too, and you find yourself with just a smattering of golden freckles for the time being.
Wait, that's actually kind of really cute. I want to keep that. That's adorable.
I was gonna strip off my diving suit, because you know that's not good. Samson, I know it looks good, but unfortunately, we've got to dispose of this in accordance with the restrictions. All right? Do you remember the rule book? Do you remember
There's a rule book?
The only
Samson,
thing I
I'm
saw in the
running out
rookie
of
cabin
these.
was comics.
It's fine. Eddie, do you remember the rule book, the disposable of hazardous materials portion? I trust they do.
I mean, standard biohazard protocol, but give it to Diana instead of leaving it in one of those orange bins.
Yeah, exactly. See, look at that. All right, they know what's up.
And the radio, as the music fades, you hear once again, as you had heard at the beginning of this night, this is Skip Lipkis with Skipping Across the Universe. The time for saviors is over. The time for a new world order is just beginning. And those of you who have squandered your chance, stay tuned. Coming up next, a change in perspective. And his voice rattles and changes. And then it's a bunch of like feedback signals undercut with more cuttings of Skip Lipkis' voice saying, "Run, do not walk into the ocean. Find what has been left behind." And it like glitches and switches, and you hear that at 2 times speed and then super slow as the radio signal itself gets mangled with these calls for endangerment.
Wow, that's huh. Might have to look into that too, honestly, especially considering the ooze reacted to the music.
Yeah, that Diana needs to know that too. Eddie will reach into their pouch for something that's been being put back every time. To be clear, this time, I'm gonna pull out their Ziploc baggied phone and text Vanessa. I swear to God, if you go to the ocean again, I am never forgiving you.
Nah, it's cool. I can't even swim.
I feel like as a lifeguard, I should advise lessons, but as me, keep it that way.
Don't go there.
You
But
all
I
good
think
though?
I, it's like it's the typing bubble, and then it goes away, and then the typing bubble, and then it goes away. And then I think so? Question mark.
Cool. Watch this. And they send you a video. It's a grainy video of KTLU, the radio station up at near the lighthouse, and all of the glass is pulsing yellow.
I forward the text to Val and just send back. Fuck.
You guys are right next to each other on Peter
This is
Callahan's boat.
so she has it to then like have it for reference and
Oh,
be able
that's
to
fair.
submit it. She's the
I
one that talks to
apologize.
Diana, not me.
That's right. You're exactly right. That's a standard protocol, Eddie. Congratulations. Yeah. Peter Callahan thanks you all profusely for rescuing his friends. And they offer to drive the boat to the marina for you all to or you guys, your boat is right next to here, but they still offer you a ride if you don't want to drive your own boat, as they're going to go get off the water.
I think it's time we head to Lookout Point. Maybe do a at least a drive by for KTLU, but I don't think we can leave just yet.
Yeah, you do need to get checked out by paramedics, though. All of you, as soon as you reach land. We'll radio ahead. They'll meet you there. But please cooperate.
They nod profusely, except for Marco, who is still clearly in a lot of pain, so he nods really slowly.
Right. Never doing that again.
You guys, Peter, you guys can keep the dive suits if you want. I don't think I'm getting my warranty back.
Eddie stripped out of that thing the moment they could, and is not touching it again. Well, no, they'll take it back for disposal as well, I guess. But they're holding it at like arm's length.
Okay. You guys take your own boat back, or take it out to Lookout Point. All right. Yes, Valerie?
I was just looking at the map, and for a second there, I thought that the only like hospital aftercare sort of like thing adjacent was Lifeguard HQ and Training Center. But then at the very bottom, it also just has the like uh cross in a circle symbol for the hospital.
Yeah, it's pretty inland. But yes, I mean, there's generally some first aid stuff, but these people probably need to be seen by like licensed practitioners, or at least Vanessa.
I sent Vanessa home. If she's still there, she's in trouble.
We'll let them move on, and we'll move our scene forward. It sounds like you guys are going to go check out KTLU.
Yeah.
And driving the boat up to Lookout Point here, from where you've been, and Lookout Point is, in fact, a lighthouse at the end of a long, narrow passage of land with the radio station right next to it. So there's a functional lighthouse, and then the radio station KTLU in the adjacent building with its big radio disc right there. And as you guys pull your boat up to this part of the coastline here at Sunset Hills, the radio station, not the lighthouse, but the radio station in particular, all of the windows, very rhythmically, yellow light pouring out as you ground or tie the boat off somewhere safely and find yourself back on solid land for the first time in an hour or two.
Do you reckon that the radio guy is an alien?
May also have been attacked by aliens. Skip Lipkis has always been a little bit odd, so
Based
it's more
on
likely
I think
attacked.
he's an alien. That's my theory. That's my running theory.
based on
Could be
what he was
possible.
saying earlier, it sounded like he thought he'd been abducted by aliens. As well, he made it sound like he was supposed to be their savior somehow.
I'm not sure. It could have also been some sort of prophecy thing, like him foreseeing the future and knowing we would need to save the people on the ship. There's a lot of interpretations. This will be a lot more hindsight obvious to us. I do want to park the boat though, like butt in, so we can, like, if we need to, we can
So you can
jump
jet
in,
out.
dive out. Whoosh. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
always
wanna be
park
ready
your
for it,
boat's
guys.
butt in for those of you at home. Absolutely. You guys can follow a small footpath from the inlet down here all the way up to the radio station with the lights. What's your plan here?
Go say hi.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know what the situation is, so we don't know if it's like a. Oh my! I just saw the kitty.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a sort of we need to storm in and stop someone being from hurt. We don't know if the guy is doing something or if something's happening to. We don't even know.
Just gonna head in
a
and
nice
see.
casual hi. That's my suggestion as a rookie.
I would like to point out the pulsing is a lot like our gelatinous friends before were, and if
They
there are
could just
more
be
of them
partying.
inside, if there are more of them inside, if I don't know how fortunate we'll be with easy electrocution options. Might at least be worth looking in windows first.
Can we actually
No?
see in through the windows?
Yeah, you guys go up to them.
I can give someone like. I was gonna say if it was too high, I was just gonna like give someone like a stand on my shoulders, you know.
For sure, yeah. However you all would like to orient yourselves here, you get up to the edge of a window, maybe in the front half of the building, and what you can see, this is a very drab interior. Things are yellowing, they're graying. Clearly, KTLU hasn't had a remodel recently, which makes sense. Getting really nice stuff is reserved for people who might live up the coast, and public access radio, not so much. The wallpaper is peeling. Lights on the inside flicker on and off, though not in any sort of rhythmic. It's just the power bill is tough because everything is being routed to the recording booth. What you do see is a number of staff that have been tied up back to back in thick fisherman wharf rope here in the main area. And if you can see all the way into sort of the on-air recording booth, Skip Lipkis, head to toe in pulsing yellow liquid, yells belligerently into his microphone with the force of at least 100 voices.
Well, I think that answers more than a couple questions.
We are not equipped for this. And we don't have time to be, do we?
I think it's time to go in there. Samson, hear me
Great.
out.
I'm gonna kick down the door.
There we go. That works too. I was gonna say grab the people, but let's go.
All right, Samson, brawny roll. Kick down that door.
Kick down
D6
that
to do
door!
the thing. A D6 because it matches your key stat. This is a very rookie-oriented maneuver. Third D6, kicking down a door.
Kicking down
You need
the
to hit a
door.
4.
Oh, I can do that easy. That is 2 2s and a 6.
All right, you bust the hinges. The door goes flat. Yellow light pours out that you now know is coming from the recording booth and Skip Lipkis himself. And you all are able to rush inside. Our camera cuts from Samson, Eddie, and Valerie. Who's going? What's happening?
Alrighty. Well, I mean, I think it's time to go for just a solid dive at, honestly, his radio, because at this point, he's as in danger as he can be. It's time to make sure that he can't reach out to others and put them in danger, I think is going to be the approach here.
Okay, so you're trying to get it off air. You're like diving in and messing up the controls.
Keep it under wraps.
Okay. If you're trying to do this quickly, it's going to be agility. If you're trying to make sure you get the right controls, it'll be crafty.
Nah.
Any controls. Got it.
Good messy.
Agility it is then. D6 to do the thing. A D6 for your key stat. And if you reason why the veteran helps you here, you can have a D6 for that as well.
I'm not sure the veteran's going to provide a direct assist here.
Almost like Valerie acting a little Samson-y. The team impacting each other as you rush in. So 2d6, you need to hit a 4.
All right. 5.
What does it look like?
Well, I think it's going to be just a straight rush in and just a mass swatting of every lever, button, switch imaginable, swiping the mic off the table to just basically doing like a power slide over the entire control panel.
Incredible. Yeah, you knock so much stuff. There's a feedback noise and then like a Christmas jingle plays and then the KTLU donate now, please, we need money. And then some more stuff as you hit every button imaginable. And our camera cuts to Eddie. What are you doing?
I clock this and turn to the captive people. Do any of you happen to carry a personal taser or anything like that in a purse, a locker, your pockets? That would be ideal.
There's an AED on the wall.
Should have thought of that. Thank you. I run for the AED.
You grab it.
And... oh, this is possibly a very bad idea. I am going to run for the recording booth and I'd like to get near the door and open the AED and start charging it, yelling for Val to be ready to get clear.
Yeah, I don't think you need to roll because AEDs are really, really simple and they're like start and it's just like the one button.
By design.
Yes. So you were able to do that, no roll required. You're gonna hold there.
I think, yeah, and they're gonna call out to Valerie and be like, I don't know if he's okay under there, and this might make him not okay under there. What should I do it? If he goes towards the others, I'm definitely gonna do it. Should I do it anyway?
If he goes towards the others, yeah. Samson, I'm gonna point at him. All right, one door down, buddy. Throw on a trash bag and try to tackle him out of the big slime.
I love this.
Honestly, I was planning on just like doing like a punch. I can't just do punch again. That can't be my plan. Honestly, reach in and grab works. And I was gonna just like go straight in for it, but being given the advice of put a trash bag on first, I think I might do that.
Yeah. You find
Thank you, great leader.
a trash bag, throw it on, make maybe a hole for your head so you can see.
Like I've got like, you know, like because I don't want to break my I don't want to break my arms through because that would like ruin the point. So he's got like it's like just two little like triangle-y, like it's you can see just like the little tuft. Like he's put his arms in the corners so he's got a bit more room, and he's gonna.
All right.
You know.
To tackle, so are you? Is the plan that we are tackling Skip Lipkis into the AED or just to the ground?
Plan was out of the monster so we could hit it with the AED.
Yeah,
and he's not in a monster. He's covered in like gunk, like you guys were. Was my understanding.
Oh, I thought there was like a slime around him that he was inside. Shoot.
No, he's fully himself, but he's just golden yellow as this pulsing yellow liquid is all over him.
Either way, put on a trash bag, and I just want to
get him to the ground.
Yeah, I get him out of this situation. I want him as far away from what we're electrocuting as much as possible. And I think
like we're electrocuting him is the thing. I mean, just making sure that he's like pinned down for this maneuver is still a solid plan here.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
We're trying to get him to not be a threat.
Yeah, I can restrain him. I can definitely do that with my little trash bag T-Rex dog.
Everything happens so quickly. We see Eddie grab the AED. Valerie's just slid over all of the controls. Samson, you're throwing the bag on and charging forward. A tackle is going to be a brawny roll.
Yeah.
So a D6 to do the thing. A D6 because it matches your key stat. If you reason why your rookie helps you here, you get a D6 for that.
What number am I trying to go for?
Trying to tackle someone when you don't really have your arms, I would say, is challenging. So while everything else has been a 4 so far, you need to hit a 5.
None of us have any luck or anything. So if I don't make it, I don't make it. So I'm gonna say, honestly, I think tackling like some random guy is a very rookie move. It's the and like I said, you know, it's that following the instructions. It's the looking for team to support. It's, you know, trying to set up so Eddie can do this. I want to, you know, part teamwork. Samson is trying to do something on his own, useless. The second he's trying to do something as part of a team, that is exactly where his strength lies. And I think that's
Mr. Teamwork.
Yeah.
All right, 3d6. You need to hit a 5.
Okay. Oh, I dropped one. Well, that's on the floor now. I'm gonna pick up a new one. Okay. That is a 1, a 3, and a 5.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
You T-Rex tackle Skip Lipkis to the ground, where he's still uttering crazy things about needing everyone to go into the ocean and forge their new identities as followers of the ancestral and ever becoming beyond, and things of that nature, in between guttural screams and screeches that sound like 100 voices, and you knock him to the ground right in front of Eddie with this AED, and you hear charging complete.
I think like Samson's like having this moment where he's like, dude, like I get the whole getting a new identity thing, but this is too far. I don't get anything else. And then like sort of hold him back so he's ready to be
You need to put with an AED there are charge patches that you need to affix to the person.
Yeah, I'm like holding him in place, ready, no movement, easy get to.
Yeah, I think with the echoing 100 voices thing, it's overridden Eddie's hesitation of this is at least theoretically a human, or was one, without a stopped heart. But we're doing this anyway.
Okay.
Place
the patches?
I'm not as careful with them as I would be if I was trying to restart someone's heart, because that is not the goal here. I'm aiming to get them on his skin in a couple of places.
Mm-hmm.
reach back for the machine and yell at Samson to clear.
Yep. And the machine
Clear
repeats. Stand clear. 3, 2,
Yeah,
1.
I'm gone.
Shock
Ow.
administered. Yep. In between what you've affixed on, we see all of the yellow goo on Skip Lipkis sort of seize up just as it had from all of the shocking down below. And then, especially around where you guys just shocked him, but eventually all over, it sort of seizes and then fades, and Skip Lipkis is just covered in golden freckles as it fades into his skin.
I check his pulse.
It's there.
Thank God.
He is alive. He is unconscious, but he is alive.
I powered off the AED.
Power
Like
it off.
we're not risking anything with that.
The Sunset Hills, like Visit Sunset Hills travel jingle is playing on loop from one of the settings that Valerie hit while diving across the board. Visit Sunset Hills. You'll have a sunny day. Visit Sunset Hills. We're always here to play. And it just like reiterations of like different cuts of these promos for Sunset Hills. As Skip Lipkis lies now motionless on the floor, unconscious, alive, and you hear cries of relief from the hostages in the other room. And even though KTLU is broadcasting, it no longer is trying to convince people to walk directly into the ocean. Congratulations. A job well done. Let's take a break. All right. So we come back to the three of you, Valerie, Van Buren, Triple V, Eddie, Samson, the tied up hostages at KTLU, and a now unconscious, golden freckled Skip Lipkis on the ground, having been freshly AED shocked by you all in an attempt to stop this pulsating yellow liquid from controlling him any further. The Come to Sunset Hills jingles continue to play on the radio. Crisis has been averted. What do you do?
Whew.
I think we should get a bucket of water and rinse him off, just to be safe. Unless it's a bad idea.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. I'm just torn between maintaining the situation for study for Diana when we get him back to her, or
We're gonna
actually
kidnap him?
helping.
Are we calling Diana an ambulance or
Diana.
both?
We're going to He's going to Diana, alright? We do need to help out the other
just shock him with an AED.
He's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry, alright? Diana is one heck of a trained professional, alright? She's been around longer than I have even, okay? So I think we need to worry about the people tied up there, though. They're definitely going to need some help. Because...
Good point. Since you've said that, Valerie, Samson is reporting for duty. Gonna go untie him.
Alright, good job, Samson.
Just like, I can imagine him trying to fiddle with the knot and like struggling and then just trying to pull at it.
Samson, do you want to recognize one of the people here?
Do I?
Up to you.
Me, Mel wants that to happen. Samson doesn't want that to happen.
Shoot.
So
Despite the haircut change, as you untie the third person here, you hear it. Oh, hey! Shu Parker Jr. is here at KTLU.
My haunted nightmare.
Oh, we gotta stop running into each other, man. This is crazy. Yo, what are you doing later tonight? Did I say something wrong?
No, dude, you're all good. No, dude, we're fine. We're chill. This is all
We're
great,
chill.
actually. I'm so glad to see you. I know, like, after we hung out last time, I haven't texted you back for the last, like, 3 weeks. But actually,
Yeah,
my
I've said, like,
phone, I think I, got, like, waterlogged or something, I've actually found out that when you go underwater and you keep it in your pocket, you're supposed to put it in, like, a little Ziploc baggie. Eddie taught me that earlier. Brilliant.
Oh, shit.
So I'm gonna start doing that now.
You need a new
so,
phone?
yeah. Yeah.
I'll get you one. You can be on my plan.
I'm gonna. The thing is, I genuinely do believe that Samson has just been putting his phone in his pocket and it's completely dead. And he does probably, because honestly, when Eddie said like the Ziploc thing earlier, I was like, oh my god, Samson has not done that today. So he kind of does need a new phone.
Dude, we're full data plan, unlimited minutes, unlimited coupons to, a couple of businesses that I own. Not my dad, they're all mine. But yeah, I can hook you up. I got you a phone.
See,
For
this is
saving
a
me, of course.
This is a dilemma because one, he really needs a new phone, and it's kind of difficult to get a really good phone plan when you don't have a steady address. Not that he's living in his van or anything, but like, but also, like, does he really want to be like contractually like tied to this guy?
Valerie,
it's like a love-hate relationship at this point.
Valerie and Eddie, you can hear Parker Jr.'s voice from the other room while you are with Skip Lipkis.
Piercing voice.
Oh.
I think Eddie, not nearly as hard as Remy has been, I think Eddie is going to start laughing very quietly listening to this. Like, fucking gosh.
I wasn't sure, and now I feel really bad for sending him into that. Oof.
And a move reminiscent of probably not too long ago, all things considered, with Marco. Eddie's going to move and shift our unconscious friend here into recovery position just to be safe. Should I go save him?
Yeah, go for it. I'm gonna try to wipe him down. Keep an eye on the other people too. Look out for any golden. Also, just help Samson. Just help Samson.
Yeah.
Shu is.
You know what? I'll send
Sure.
Samson back in here with you. Actually,
Heck yeah, there you
he
go.
could probably do with a refresher on the protocol.
So I was thinking, like, we could get matching phone cases, and yours could say Samson, and yours could say Shu, and mine could say Samson, and people would know that we're on the same phone plan. What do you think about that?
Samson.
Eddie! Oh my god, wait, yeah, you need something? Does Valerie need something? I'm so sorry, I got work.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you go do your job.
Talk later. Yeah, just text me. I'll answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring your phone by. Don't worry. Or you can come by the Quantum Leviathan. It'd be cool.
Yeah,
and don't bother
I'll
with
come
labels.
by.
Samson doesn't use them.
Huh?
Labeling the phone cases. Samson doesn't use labels.
I don't use phone cases.
Okay, that we're going to change. That part we are going to. The plastic baggie on its own is not enough. There is a phone case too. We are going to be doing both. Go see help Valerie.
Okay. And then, like, as he like walks away, he just sort of mouths.
Did you tuck this knot tighter?
Yeah, I'm actually chafing pretty bad.
I'm assuming there's multiple knots, and I'm going to move to a knot that's not.
Not that knot?
Yeah, and work on detangling it.
We'll
with
follow
all the practice of someone who grew up with corded earbuds.
We'll follow Samson back inside after Eddie's rescue mission here. Samson and Valerie to start doing something with Skip Lipkis.
What's
the plan?
Well, Valerie's going to be going down over him with a couple of sanitizing rags here, with
You got a Clorox
probably.
wipe him down.
Yeah, pretty much. I just got to go with whatever is on hand here, and make sure to have some gloves on though. Had too much skin contact with this stuff already. Otherwise, I'll have to turn myself in at this point and see Samson walk in. Ah, Samson. So it sounds like yeah, sounds like Shu is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of hoped I didn't see him out of the corner of my eye. Sorry for sending you there, buddy.
No, it's fine. You know what? I'm getting a new phone at least. This one has been cracked for like a
You?
month. And now I might have gone, diving with it in my pocket. Okay.
Samson. Okay,
I'm
okay.
starting to think that maybe he wasn't the worst. Like, yeah, he tried to buy drugs for me when I was 7, but he was like, what, like 13? He probably didn't even know what was going on anyway. So, like, we were probably both trying to pretend to be people. He's probably fine
I
in small
like
doses.
Valerie doesn't want to mention all the crazy stuff Shu's done while she's worked here. She is trying to remain, optimistic for Samson here and
This
this
is an enemies to
relationship.
lovers story.
All
Um,
right. Looking forward to that. We gotta come
Valerie,
back for this now.
as you continue to wipe down, you're getting some of it off, but some of these freckles are entirely too persistent, and you're coming to the realization this is going to be sort of a Diana pickup.
Oh, this is already a Diana pickup with all that contact, but not coming off too. Lipkis has really had it bad this time. Samson, you still got that trash bag, buddy. You wanna wrap him up in it and help me haul him out to the boat?
Yeah, he's gonna like sort of wrap him up and like fully like princess carry this guy out, and I think she's gonna be a little jealous as he walks past. Just a little bit.
Just roll me a die. If you get a 3 or higher, then yes.
Okay. Thanks. That is a 5.
Yeah.
Wait, yes on he gets jealous, or yes I carry him.
Oh, you were going to carry him. This is just for Shu's reaction. Eddie, as Samson and Valerie walk through with the trash bagged body of Skip Lipkis, Skip in Samson's arm. Shu had. So when we had the Quantum Leviathan Jr. and the rudder exploded, it was so and then he like sees Samson.
I look really majestic.
It was so crazy. Yeah, I think your friends are leaving.
Yep, I'm gonna be checking in with them in just a moment. And Eddie continues untying hopefully the last person after this and directing everybody okay, stay put. Proper authorities will be here soon, yada yada yada. Waiting for a signal on the radio from Valerie for them to go out and rejoin the rest of the crew.
Yeah, that'll be called down. Like once we get him down to the boat and stuff, it'll be a little. As long as everyone's free up there, you want to head on down here now, all right? I think it's time we head on out of here. It's getting late.
Copy that?
Yep, a boardwalk patrol on a moped with a singular circular red light starts coming down the road for KTLU as your boat, parked butt forward, is now speeding off with Skip Lipkis and the 3 of you as you head back to lifeguard training headquarters. Our scene shifts. The stars are in the sky, an extra twinkle from something from the beyond as the boat is parked at the lifeguard dock here, and you're able to carry the still unconscious body of Skip Lipkis with his trash bag into headquarters. And at a filthy paper-filled desk in headquarters here, you see with her cigarette and a mile-high pile of paperwork, Diana. Ah!
Hmm?
Well, seems like you guys all had a night.
Oh yeah, one heck of a night.
Oh, just a heck?
Yeah,
That's
just a
easy.
heck, honestly. It was just some sort of submerged saucer.
Okay.
Yeah, there was some slimes too. We've got some golden freckles. Did you listen at all to KTLU tonight?
No, I'm sort of a strictly neoclassical jazz sort of
Skip
person.
Lipkis
Is that
is
a
his own
question?
thing. Yeah.
Huh?
Huh?
You said that like it was a question.
That was Sydney trying to figure out what Diana
No,
would listen to.
I think Diana. I think that the equally funny is that's actually how it's pronounced.
No,
Like
yeah,
question.
neoclassical jazz. If you don't have the uptick, then it's not. It's just neo-modern
Classical
jazz.
jazz.
Yeah,
No, of course.
we're not about that. I don't want any of that bebop shit around.
You got any recommendations? I've been struggling to focus on my thesis.
Got a couple of records. I'll pull out before you go.
Appreciate it, thanks.
You've got a record player, right?
I mean, it's not a great one, and it connects to just a shitty Bluetooth speaker, but it's there.
Oh, that's not a good listening experience. Any golden freckles?
Yeah.
All of you?
Samson. Oh
Ah.
no. Yeah.
Just these two.
I mean, well, we did also have contact with it, but ours have. It was not so prolonged, not possessed as he was, and also they've washed off.
Okay. Well, probably
Filling in the report.
best. Good, as it should, and as I trust that you will. The three of you should probably do a decontamination shower just to be safe before you leave tonight. Follow all 4 steps on the bottle. You must lather, rinse, repeat. It burns because it's supposed to. Don't worry. The tingling should go away. As for him, let's he's probably going to take a little bit. Let's carry him back to one of the rooms.
All right.
For the first time, Rookie Samson, and I think Eddie as well, but Valerie, you've done this before. You get to go back to one of the rooms as Diana shuffles some things on her desk, pushes down a button, and a whole file cabinet moves to the side, illuminating a very narrow metal hallway. It's tight quarters. Just go sideways. She leads you through the opening into a starkly different version of lifeguard headquarters. Everything is clean and sterile and white and chromatic. The more you go, as the hallway lightens up, and she goes to a door that is labeled simply A4. And there are rows of doors here and a couple more hallways. She inputs something on a keypad, bends down. It scans her one good eye. She pulls her glasses back over. All right, we'll just bring him in here. And there's a simple room with a cot and then a plexiglass wall and door. And she will have you lay Skip Lipkis down on the cot and then step out of the way. Don't worry about him. He'll be well fed. He'll get some sunlight. We'll sort of sweat this one out to make sure that nothing from the beyond still lingers in his sort of cerebral processes. And then when all is good and well, he'll be released, hopefully with just a minor mental blocker put in as to the effects outside of his natural comprehension. Do any of you need one of those? Everyone feeling all right?
I've had a slight headache for the past little bit, but I've also not slept in way too long and way too many cups of coffee, so...
Cut the caffeine, smoke a cigarette, go to bed. After your decontamination shower.
If you've got a cigarette on offer, I'm in.
She pulls one out and hands it over.
Thanks.
All right. Well, the three of you did very well tonight. Samson, I do believe this would provide you with a promotion out of the rookie hut, if you so choose.
I think I still have some stuff to learn. Maybe out of the hut, join the full team, but I'm still the rookie of the team, I reckon. I don't think you suddenly stop becoming the rookie.
Wise words. Must have learned them from the two of you.
I learn everything from the best. Wherever you guys are.
Well, I will be scheduling the three of you together on more shifts. Also because the school kids are coming back. You know, school is back in session, and we're about to have some more trained people. So it won't just be you all split amongst the summer of rookies we've had. But good job. Don't worry about Skip Lipkis, who should be fine. And you should all be proud of yourselves. And if you have any questions, put them in the report. Don't expect an answer. Sound good?
Hour sounds good.
All right. Well, the two of you head off. Valerie, her motions for Samson and Eddie to head back through and to go to decontamination. I want you to keep an eye on the two of them. I know you already are.
Didn't want to say anything to it, of course, though. Absolutely. I'm going to keep 2 eyes on them even at this point.
Well, if you grow a third, put it in the report.
Absolutely.
But we are thin in numbers and the threats only seem to grow. So if they can get to even 50% of your capabilities, we might stand a chance.
I do have some high hopes for, honestly, the both of them. Samson's one heck of a strong lad, really reliable in that regard. And Eddie, I mean, they're, particularly with that headache, I'm wondering what went on down there. I'm wondering if they might get a third eye, metaphorically speaking. I have high hopes. We'll see.
If that third eye can be used to our advantage, I can't imagine this is the last we'll be seeing of visitors from beyond. So, best to be prepped and ready then.
Absolutely.
All right, off to decontamination with you two.
Yes, ma'am.
She sends you off back up through the file cabinet door to decontamination, and our camera sticks with Diana for a moment, as instead of leaving with all of you, she regards Skip Lipkis. We're gonna have to get you a frequent flyer card at this point. And then she shuts the door to A4 and heads further down into the bowels of lifeguard headquarters. You guys all hit the showers, and we're gonna go around the horn. How do you spend the rest of your calm evening now that it's about 1 a.m? Calm night, as it were. Let's start sort of in that same. Let's start with Samson and go Samson, Eddie, Valerie. You guys together? You separate? What are you thinking?
I think he's gonna have like that slow sort of, you know, like the decontamination shower, sort of like milling around with Eddie for a while, and then eventually heading off. And he's gonna say, heading back to my place, see you next shift. And he's gonna leave the building in that direction and then immediately make like 3 left turns and start going to Shu's place. I think there's something about him that, like, he's so frustrating, and yet, like, he can't get him off his mind, and something about that is just enthralling. It's less of a, oh, I want to go see him. It's more of a, why the hell can't I get you off my mind? I need to figure out what's causing this. What your deal is. There must be something you're doing to my head to make me keep thinking about you.
Cool. Do you head to the Medusa nightclub or do you head to the Quantum Leviathan?
I think the Quantum Leviathan, like he said, like, stop by my place. I think it's too late in the night for, like, to go to the club, like, he's getting there slowly, so it'll be, like 2 a.m. I think that's a bit late.
Yeah. It's not hard to miss the Quantum Leviathan. It is the only neon yellow speedboat in the marina. And it is easy to see the form of Shu Parker Jr. sitting on the railing and kicking his feet, flying a remote control of some sort of drone around.
And he's sort of like, he's almost hesitating to go up. He doesn't quite want to, like, admit that he's doing this. So he just sort of, like, walks up and kind of
Whoa! Ah! Oh! Hey! The drone crashes into the boat. Hi. Oh, you're here for your phone. The store actually isn't. I don't keep extras, so we'll have to grab it tomorrow.
No, that's okay. How about we? Yeah, let's. Do you mind if I, hang out here until we go to the store? We can just chill or something.
Really? Okay, so, and he launches right into just talking at you a mile a minute. And I think
it's sort of an endearing frustration. He's just, for once, he doesn't have to be the one talking and coming up with things and acting or whatnot. He can just sit and listen, and it's kind of nice to be the watcher rather than the actor for once.
Incredible. And then scene fades as we've Samson on the boardwalk, Shu sitting on the railing of his boat, almost falling over and leaning forward, talking a mile a minute about something so inanely stupid. And our camera moves on. Where do we find Eddie after you leave headquarters?
After splitting with Samson, they probably hung around outside for a few minutes longer, smoking that cigarette, trying to see, it's like, maybe this will help my head. It's kind of weird. And, like, maybe a slightly odd feeling, their eyes just happened to cut off to the side just in time to see where Samson, after making his third left turn, is now passing again back towards the beach, and just, like, they saw his van there before. They just assumed he was trying to hide. He was going to his definitely not house. And just kind of shakes their head and keeps an eye until makes it to the beach and sort of out of sight before wandering back to their own place. And get back and see that just the mess of research still spread out and all of the coffee. And they turn and just go and faceplant on their bed.
Incredible. You faceplant, we see your phone ding light up, one with just like a gif from was it Vanessa?
Vanessa, yeah.
That's like a cat with maracas, and then underneath of it you see the instant direct deposit for the overtime that you worked tonight from Diana. Well, you don't see it, but the camera does, since you are face down on the bed.
Like, smack at my phone. Manage to silence it and then flip it over so if it does light up, it's not going to light up my room, and just pass out.
The camera moves
No
out your
alarms,
window. Finally getting some rest, and we find Valerie. Where's Valerie at 1 a.m?
Well, she was the last one out of the decontamination shower. But she's been very thorough about it. She's done this before, but she also wants to be double sure.
Extra tingly.
Extra tingly, all right? You get used to it, honestly. She wants to make sure that she does feel the tingle before it's over. Otherwise, who knows? Maybe it's never want to build up an immunity to the purge, right? That's just bad luck on that. She's heard stories, she's seen some stuff. She's ready to walk out though. She's gonna head down the boardwalk, keeping an eye on the on the sea as she's walking back. She gets back to her car that's parked out of the crab hut, and
Captain Bob's Crab Hut.
Captain Bob's Crab Hut. All right, it's only a short walk down the boardwalk to it, and she just walks over, gets it, grabs a little doggy bag out of the passenger seat, and drives home as she also sets down the paperwork that she's gonna have to go fill out.
Yeah, I think in your windshield wiper, Jake has put in coupons for you.
Well, he does
to
owe
use
me.
next time.
He jinxed me on this. All right.
This is all his fault.
Absolutely. All right. He was talking about like, oh, you always work. Come on, man. We've done this before. He's about to get off. I say something, and then boom, someone calls out. This is all on Jake, honestly.
And he might feel that way, which is why you get a buy one get one 50% off crab leg coupon and free Hush Puppies side with an entree purchase coupon, and then like an extra large 72 ounce Ocean Guzzler coupon in your windshield wipers as you head off. Yeah, incredible. As our camera pans out from Sunset Hills here, we find it zooming past the beach, KTLU, the lighthouse, and eventually up into the sky where stars are twinkling on an exceptionally clear night. And one seems to be moving laterally across the way, slightly pulsing a yellow glow back to where it came from for now. And that's where we're going to end this two-shot of Rookie Watch.
Yes!
You did it!
Oh.
What an ending. What a time. I can't believe Samson went to shoes.
Yeah, tell me why that's the part that shocked me most of this entire two-shot.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Crazy
All right, shoes
stuff.
back in the story, and he's here to stay.
Yeah. I love him.
She's that sort of endearing, awful person,
Mm-hmm.
If Eddie
Series
gets to work and finds that Samson's phone is labeled, and Betty the bullhorn is labeled, and still nothing else is, they are going
Well,
to
he's
scream.
Rookie Hut now. That's not his jurisdiction anymore.
That's true, all right?
It might actually get labeled now that he's not in charge of it.
Well, from our lifeguard hut to yours, for those of you who are watching, thank you for watching. To my lovely lifeguards, thank you for saving the day once again. And everyone have a spook-free evening. Goodbye.
Woo!